Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you, wherever you are joining me at this hour. I say welcome to 156th edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Said if you are ever involved in this market, and which I know you are, don't forget that this market is associated with risk. And because it's associated with risk, you must plan what your trade. Since you must plan your thing, you need to have your stop loss, have your entry and strategy. You must also have your profit taking target when you are entering any stock. This will help you to navigate the market and at the same time to manage your capital. To what? Because your capital will be protected is very, very important. So that at the end of the day, you play the market with information and at the same time you come out with a better profit at the end of the day. Yes, I will tell you that the global market as we speak is in green. When I mean green, it's a powerful green that is standing for what we saw yesterday. And this as a result of what improving corporate earnings wave that also hit this market across the globe. It tells that investors, despite the uncertainty surrounding the market, the volatilities up and down, investors are seeing a kind of a sucker what in this earnings season that is ongoing. And don't forget that in this class, or those that also have been with us, we always tell you that any season comes with a lot of what surprises and also come with a lot of different dimension. That is what we are seeing now. It's already playing out in the matured market, which down here in our market, we're also going to see impact already, also showing that investors and traders in the market are really looking at these values to take advantage of them. Why? Because they want to multiply their investment. And this is how to invest because every investment we are doing, either in the fixed income market, in the in equity market, is against the future. Any assets you are trading is against the future. The past performance will just guide you, and the attitude or the psychology or the sentiment in the market at present will guide you to make forecast for the future. That is what is happening in the market despite the grooming macroeconomic data across the globe, even down here, we are seeing that some design investors and traders are still looking at some sectors. That is why in one of the write-up I said in the 11 sectors we have in our market here that traders or investors should kind of go and arrange what the others of performance, rank it and see where you should put your fund. It is not compulsory that you must have 8 stocks. You must be in the 8 sector. The sector that are being well, that is what you associate with as you are looking for where to maximize profit. At the same time, also protect your capital, especially in a stagflation economy where we are. No, you need to know how to invest right now. That is why this class and and others and the one to come is going to work to educate investors and traders on how to up their game on investment. That is only what this course is meant for, or this class for, so that at the end of the day, you'll be smiling when you are taking your investment decision and you are doing it with confidence and with knowledge. You are not guessing what Mr. A is doing or what you are doing what you understand and what you are trading. Like I tell people that you trade what you see. Trade what you see because as we look now, because what is happening in our local market here, I'm coming to that chart to discuss it. But if you come to that, I can tell you the market is becoming a bit very dicey and also miss for investor. That's why I say trade what you see. If you are not knowledge about our market here, local market here, you'll be jittering, you'll also be shaking, seeing that index is breaking a different cyclical line down because of what? Because of one stock. And this is why I said that in any trader in this market, any investor market, you should not always look at only the all share index that measure the performance of the general market. You have to look at what the individual sector. This has been this is what is happening now. You should understand why I lay emphasis on this. Because as Ether is coming down, that's like the market is because Ether has about almost more than as we speak, either 40% or 30% of all the market, because about 7 of them have about 7% of the market, influence on the market or percentage of the market of the share index. About 7 stocks, but Airtel has it because it's the most capitalized stocks, in the exchange. Now that it's losing, I see that the index is coming down. Why some sectors are looking robust and seeing value on the table because of what? Because of what the prices are cheap, and also we're seeing low P ratio, we're seeing expecting a Q3 number, and as I said earlier, if you look at the change in the macroeconomic data, we expect that yes, it might not impact much on these numbers we're expecting. That those companies that have done well in their previous quarter, they're likely to maintain it. And that tells you that if you're in short companies, you don't need to panic. Why? Because you understand what is happening. Yes, back to the global market, as I was saying, as we speak now, global market is in green. Why are they in green? I mentioned that as also UK and also reverse their word, their physical or the move or decision to cut tax before now. They have reversed that decision. That's also part of what is influencing the market. But the major sector I'll tell you that it's more on this market globally is what of all called the earning season expectation. Seeing that the banking sector in matured market have started release the result, and that shows that this banking sector have done well. And this is not going to be different of what we are seeing in our local market. Why? Don't forget that Central Bank of the world has continually increased rates. And I said it earlier and before now, even past that, when you see all this policy change, in sector, in industry, it has a way of also impacting on their performance. You can see the result that were released by Bank of America. This result is what changed the whole psychology, the whole sentiment in the market yesterday. And today they're expecting also big news here in Nigeria. We just saw the few early filers that are released result. And those early filers, despite their medium and low cap stocks, and some of them are going into blue chip company because of their consistency. But I'll tell you, these numbers are not bad at all. Only few that yes, they will see some slowdown in their performance, but more of the ones that have released so far, I will tell you these are a good sign what to expect in the market. That is why you as an investor, you can see the importance of earnings in a what in equity investment. This earnings season, I've said that you must take advantage of it, but to reduce what you have lost, or even to recover what you have lost or reduce it, or even to make more money. And that is why you must play it with knowledge, you must play it with attention. This is not the time for you to guess. Do the right thing, and that's why we'll continue follow to guide investors on this platform. Yes, those that really know that bought the last video, I'm telling you, all of them are smiling. But there are some change we are seeing in the market. Who that video have opened their eyes to see, because there's something I said there that is already happening in the market. And if you're taking advantage of it because you have your software to change those things and act the way we have taught in that video, that will also help you to see what is happening, and that's why you take advantage of any season. And that's why I do what we call price action analysis or price structure analysis. I do market timing and also momentum, so that you understand exactly what is happening per time, what to do, what the price action is, because price action will tell you the attitude of investor in any market, either mature market, advanced market, crypto market, FX market. It's the same psychology that you see that will play out on the channel. I say, as you watch this as a picture, trade what you see, because what you see in the chart will tell you the attitude of the people in the market, so that you will not look away from what is happening in the market. Don't be carried away with political activities. They have a lot of interest in the market, but now is the any season. I said it, in most of my class, that in any economy, the market and the economy has about 50% influence on price movement. And that 50% of price movement is not that the economy is demand, it's the liquidity in the economy, and that liquidity also reflecting in the market that also support price. Here, you know that right now in our market here, we're seeing a low liquidity in the market, and because of any season also will bring liquidity back to the market to a level. But you know that any season also companies influence market on the price is about 20%, while that of sector and industrial about 30%. That is what happened on price. So I remember when we were in a bear market, that there's no liquidity. Even when company performs very well, if the price will not move more than 2 days, because the company will have that 20% influence on its price because of performance. When the liquidity in the market, you can see for 2 days, for 5 days, 6 days. But if there's no liquidity, you see that company has performed well. The market will appreciate it. But you stay more than 2 days or a day to die because there's no liquidity. But also, if there's liquidity in the market, because this is where you need to know what influence what price of stocks, performance from the company has an impact, liquidity in the system and the market has an impact, what is happening in the sector. But that is why I said, look at what is happening in the banking sector. You can see how it's going to influence their performance, and these are what going to put the kind of that sector to become the toast of investor. Yes, I know before now coming to the cost of liquidity and also being a marketable sector, and also the volume they have that you can do in and out at any time as a trader. These are the sectors we are looking at in that sector. So in the market, that these are the things you should know as a trader or investor. If you know them already, now you know how to use your chart, and also understand the user to read what the attitude, the character, the psychology, and the sentiment of people in the market. Let's just say trade what you see, not just assumption. That's why chart is very, very good. Your price action, you must look at it. You must time the market, also use your momentum to know exactly what is happening in the market. That's why that video is very, very important. The secret of making market bringing profit, making money in any market cycle, you need to get that video if you're not having one by now. But as we speak now, I'll tell you that all the indicators in the US market are in green, and there's a lot of reaction to what I mentioned earlier. Bank of America, impressive Q3 number. This corporate earnings wave around the globe is changing the market, and that also reflect in our market. Like I said, the the kind of a U-turn from what from the initial proposal to what to cut the tax now have been reversed in US in London or UK government. These are the things also influencing those market. And also as to speak, oil price also breathe out again at this hour. Despite it is a missed trend as to speak, it has been oscillating all this while. But to speak now, oil price is trading around the $91.62 per barrel, and it's also part of what is influencing the market. And don't forget that there's already a threat that China said they are not selling now the gas now, and why Russia is also over likely cut off. These are despite all this macroeconomy issue, all this up and down in terms of oil and price. See, investors across the globe still have confidence because earnings will determine what the company will pay you and that. But for the future, we want to keep our eyes to see because there's also have a way how also all these economic issues affect company performance. For those companies that has favor with either what is happening in the economy, all these are what we are going to see going to the future. And these are the things investors should also look at for, and I believe that that will go a long way also to influence the market. That's why in the next 5 to 6 weeks, we will see all this trend. And don't forget that the seasonality that comes at the end of the quarter is also a thing that you should not forget. I don't forget I said something that the second half of of October, there's always a move in that. But that's what people start also positioning for what for these numbers. Seeing these numbers, sorry, that is the numbers start coming, so that people will not be reacting to it. And that's already what we started seeing in the market as we speak now. In Europe, all the markets there are still in green now, which is good. In Asia, the same thing for Africa, but still seeing same mixed market because as to speak now, down here in Nigeria, I said earlier, our market is down by almost 2.3% as a result of what the same sell-off was in Airtel. I am not surprised that sell-off hitting Airtel at this point. I said it yesterday, but I'm going to still repeat. Airtel can see and NGS. So these are companies that on the exchange, yes, NGS have not paid dividends as they are listed since they are listed on the exchange or they are utilize anyone I use to become honest, they've not paid no dividend. Fine, and their numbers have been up and down. But this year we are seeing improvement, and the price is going on the high side. Looking at what the earnings we have seen so far, or let's take quarter will change the perception. But if you look at that of Airtel is a good sector. The sector will understand what is happening there. They're expanding in their 12 countries where they're operating. They are expanding their business. But if you look at the price it's selling and what is coming out as dividend, I see that there are some other lower cap stocks that can give similar and above return. And for you, the price moving up, at this time that we're having, there's also FX problem, but people are using it to form of exit that are put the price to that level. But now people also sell it down to take advantage of what because the movement of Ether, it's not as frequent as other, it's not as volatile as other. I mean, it's not a trendy stock. It moves once a while and stay like. But for people to take advantage of what is happening in the market, where this any season, they need to offload their position there and use the liquidity to trade what to trade other stuff. I hear you are seeing that the Asia index are looking down why the market activities of bread are strong at this time. And this tells that investors in the market are really doing intelligent and knowledge investing. And that is all impact of all we're doing and different people also doing so that people will invest with knowledge. It's not time to follow back, but also protect your capital is very, very key at this point. Before I go into looking at the market, I want to look at the latest earnings that were released to the market yesterday. We saw that before now I'll discuss that of UCAP and others. But yesterday, before the market closed or towards the end of we saw the Q1 number of PZ that is due for since September. That result was released yesterday, and this number is not looking bad. But investors have to be very careful, jumping into some position. I would say yes. If you look at the number that came from the test of full year, it's a good number, but we know why that number for full year, which I said yesterday, again, as a result of one extraordinary item that supported that number. But also, if you look at what was seen as the first quarter for the new financial year, it's a good start, I would say, for the company. But also, you need to look at in between these numbers and see what it will take at the end of the year. If at the end of the year, okay, there's no also they didn't say any other property within this financial year, would they able to pay me 1 naira, 1 kobo, or 1 naira 10 kobo they declare for the last financial year? That will yes, might see this price moving because of this the positive Q1 plus the corporate action that is around the January next year. And now we see that the positive earnings move from more than 25 kobo to 1 naira, 10 kobo, 1 naira, 1 kobo for dividend. This is a good one for the store. As we speak now, we are having more than 10% dividend alone. plus capital appreciation that you make on that stock is almost above inflation. And this is what you can go to another and replicate it in different business, especially in this earning season. These are the things investors should be doing, that what can we move. It's not time for you to be looking at 50%. Once you're making 20%, 10%, 15%, move around. You can know what you gather at the end of the day. This is how to trade. Yeah. But if you look at the number that were released from PZ, I would say good number, but there are things that look. I said when you are looking at earnings of a company, it's good to look at the company profitability. The profit and loss account is very good. Look at the balance sheet to see how robust it is. Also, one is when look at what the cash flow of this company is very, very important when looking at the cash flow of any company, because it tells you if the earnings you are seeing will be sustained at the end of the day. Because you're not just saying earning is good for the first time or for the first year. What of subsequent quarter? What of subsequent year? Will it be sustained? Because that's why you need to see the company cash flow. What also the nature of the company activities will tell you also what the cash flow should look like. The cash flow looking positive or weak, you should also understand so that at the end of the day, you know that what you are saying can be sustained for for one number of social period or either quarters or years. That is that you have more confidence in that company. But when you are seeing a number that is looking up positive earnings and cash flow is looking down in terms of negative, you need to also balance it to see, okay, what happened that this company cash flow is negative while earnings positive. These are what investors say. No matter what you do here, you also want to do your own work, your own decision, because you are the one that's putting your work capital. These are the things to guide. That's why at this any season, I will be here to guide you through so that you take advantage of what the any season, looking at the psychology of the people, looking at the actual number that are hitting, know how to react to it, and also how you also can also position this actual number for what for the current financial year at the end of the day, because this is a third quarter number that is very, very important to start giving us insight what we're likely to see. That's why between now and any season, I will be here to guide you. Unless I'm out of Lagos and where I am, there's no connectivity, but I will be ready to guide investors because we have come a long way in this business. We need to always share, ideas with each other so that at the end of the day, we make a well informed investment decision. As we speak now, I'll tell you that the Q1 number from PZ look good. The revenue or turnover or top line, if you call it, move from 22.2 billion to 27.3 billion or 4 billion, representing about 23% up. Good. But the bottom line at the end of the day, which is the PAT, also moved from 231.1 million to about 1.3 billion. That's almost more than 450% up, which is good. Also in that direction, this translates to EPS of what of 33 kobo against 6 kobo in the same period the previous year. But in all this, if you look at the company profit margin, which also was reflected in their full year result that ended in May. That's that yes, there's little improvement in the profit margin from 1.04% to 4.74% in terms of profit margin. Just that the cost of running this business is high. You can see that what they are getting after sale is not much. Therefore, you for out of everyone naira, is it 4 kobo what you're going to get in every it's not to 20 not to 10 kobo. You can see that they need to also manage their costs. But as I said earlier, looking at the net operating cash flow of this company for this period that we're looking at, you can see there's a negative cash flow about 17 billion against the previous year about 1.7 negative 2 billion. These are the things I said you find we're seeing a good number coming, but how consistent this will be sustained is very, very important. For these figures, as we're looking at, they are very good, but you as an investor should look at and also what is happening around the economy, macroeconomy, in which sector will benefit from this high cost of high cost of fund, high cost of what? Of cost of production, and also what is the purchasing power of the people, what kind of product are they into, what will we sustain. If you look at this, they are into like home appliances and also other detergent or personal use. But you can see that is this time people will going more for home appliances. Do they have already? You can see will this sales continue? Will they still make these are the things we look at to analyze that. When the time when the economy is in an early expansion, when the economy is in the middle expansion, they kind of settle what they do. When the economy is in this kind of a contraction, either late contraction or late expansion, where early contraction or late expansion, or even late contraction, see at that time there are some sectors that attention will shift to, and also it depends on disposable income of the people that will support the number. We'll see what is playing for the banks. It's not only just because of banks. Banks have a lot of things working for them because they are engine of any economy. For that, we need to also put this together when we're taking our investment decision. It's very, very important at any given time, so that at the end of the day, we make what informed investment decision. Yes, coming back to the chart, you can see here that the market remain on a on a down bearish channel, the downtrend. If you take this and look at this point from here, this point, yes. Also come back here, take it again. Then we'll now discuss what have you observed here. Good, 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 good. You can see that today now market are broken down another strong the lower trend line, which is that market is making lower lows now. You can see confirm lower lows, no, not lower. You can see lower lows were seen, lower, 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 lower. You can see final lower lows here now. Say that market is also looking for a support or a wage. But as we speak, we know what is responsible for this lower lows market is making. This same stock that supported the market at this point when market was going up, we can see the rate is coming down, so that these individual stocks are the one that move the stock up, and also they are the one also bringing it down. But that's that only one stock is bringing it down. That means any other high cap stocks or British company start going up now, we might see another up, kind of a rebound, because I believe that the share on this company is not much. With time, this sell-off will just slow down. We'll now see an uptrend. But it is the number of what, the function of what the earnings we are seeing, and also at the same time the liquidity in the system. You can see that the market has broken down another strong support level of hold on, a support level about almost around to speak now. Market has broken the support level about 46, around 46,500, broken down. The market is reading almost 46 200 or 300 as we speak now. But let's go back to look at the figures as we speak. Market is trading around 45,000. I see market has broken down the strong support level down now below this. You can see, if you look at this in market, the market cannot go consolidate at this point. It has trended before people go. Market have broken down all this. Market is within this region. You can see this is also not too good. Market is going back to almost at the beginning of the year. That's why year to date I also dropped from as high as 24% this year to around 8.4, 8.54 as we speak at the end of trade yesterday. But as we speak now, market is doing 45,300 and 308.70. Market is down, as we speak, 1,057 point down, and that's about 2.3% down in this hour. But the good thing is that yesterday at this hour, market was still on a positive market rate. So also today at this hour, we're having 11 gainers against 5 losers, and those losers are led by what? Ether, flat 10%. Ether is down. You know what it is, followed by NGS. We can see champion building, Charms, and also Owando in this category. Now these are the ones that are also that putting pressure on the market. But if you look at the gainer chart, we have 11 stocks on that list. You can see the market reaction toward the result that came from UCAP. UCAP is leading, gaining almost also 10%, 9.8% at this hour. So followed by sovereign trust insurance. We can also see Unity Bank, Transcorp, and Mutual Benefit. These are the top 5. I see other stocks like GT Code, other banking stock, Access Bank. Most of them are still on the gainer start, but because these are the top one. But having 11 stock on the gainer start at this hour, and the market is still ongoing, then we expect to see what the market will close for the day. But that's why I said we have seen a real change. And that's why it's time for you to work, to apply your technical analysis. You need it very now. Yes, you might be running away from the market, while the other sectors are giving advantage, opportunity for you to take. You are running, while others are actually taking opportunity around because of the general market. Is that no? Look away from the general market. Look at one individual sector. Look at individual stock. Like I always said, that there are some strong group of stocks that have all it takes for you to work to play defensive at this time. That we're seeing this kind of stagflation environment. That what you do, and I believe that those that came for the masterclass that are also taking advantage of what is happening in the market. Our position are still very, very intact, very much intact. Even those that also bought the video on how to the secret of profiting or making money in any market cycle, catching what the top of the high and the low of any position to take. And this and also with the help of momentum, because I say that in all my analysis I combine what price, time, momentum to work, and also focus to know exactly what to do. It's very, very important, so that at the end of the day you can make what informed investment decision. The top trade in terms of volume are GT Code, you can see GT Code, Fidelity, UCAP, and the Access Corp and Zenith Bank. We are seeing more of what financial sector, and this sort of opportunity we are seeing in that sector, and also attracting people to keep their focus in that industry, especially as we are seeing that earnings wave or corporate earnings wave we are seeing is trying to take turn the market up. Also, don't forget that our inflation data was released yesterday. As investors are digesting this inflation figure, the CPI today. Also, look at where can we hedge what against inflation. And I believe that also the fixed income market remained quiet yesterday as a result of what the either we call it fake news or rumor of government kind of trying to restructure debt and all those stuff. These are things that I believe that as we continue to see positive results from the companies, that might also keep the market in the up direction. But because of these highly priced stocks that are losing, might not see much in terms of index looking up. But individual sectors, index and stocks might likely look up. That means this volatility we're seeing will continue in terms of price. But I believe that the kind of upside we are seeing in the numbers that those few were released, that also will be very good to support the market. We don't need to panic at all. But despite also, don't forget that as I seen the number, the macroeconomic environment has not changed. But the headwind is there, but investors are looking up for value in the midst of all this, and that's how to trade or invest anywhere in the market. But let's keep our eyes on what on the financial system and on the financial sector, because I think that sector will benefit mainly from what CBN have done in the last 6 months of almost 400 and 400 basis point increase what in interest rate. Yes, let's look at let's call our indicators to look at the market before call it a day, because I believe that what we're getting, what we need to guide us in this market as to speak. Let's call our T line. Yes, also call I'll call the stochastic indicator now. We're not using system. Let's look at that. Of course, I use this variety to also guide you so that you know what you are doing in the market at any given time. Taking your investment decision. Then also look at now the money flow is key. You can see that no day I'll be discussing. I will use money flow what in analysis. It tells you the importance of that money flow to know exactly what is happening. The volume is always there to guide us. You can see here that our T line is 9, but we have to change it to 8 to suit for our own trading purpose and to catch our in and out as we speak. Yes, from the look of the chart already here, you can see that the market is already on a downtrend, serious one, breaking down the bearish channel tells that the market is really on the downtrend, and this tells that market is bleeding, but people will be running. This is not time to run. This bleeding, I mean, it's not that every stock is losing. I pointed to you to know that this high cap stock that is, if other high cap stock or highly priced stock start going up on the strength of their number. Also, we're expecting to see the half year result, and also it's going to come with a what 3 dividend. Also, there are some investors that will take advantage of the price now to buy it at that price. When it goes to a strong support level, take advantage of it and also to start coming back again up. But what you see here that is good for us to look at, if you look at the momentum indicators here, you can see that they were seeing a weak momentum to reflect also what is happening. You can see that even when this momentum didn't get to a point of almost 50, but started coming down already, as you can see it here. You can see that the point is coming down already. It's a sign that of weakness, and which we see the part of what the part of Ether on the all share index. And also because of what is happening, money flow is already looking down. Money flow have touched a side of 37 that yesterday. Now it's looking down to do around 32 point something around 32, 33. That is where the index now. Then the fund is also not entering the market much, not on the individual stock. That's why you need to also chart individual stock and chart over also the what your individual sector indices is very, very important to look at. But for today, we look at what is happening in the GT code. For those that took advantage, those that came for masterclass, and even those that bought that, and also those that on their own have taken a decision, want to look at what this code is doing. Look at the UCAP, look at Access Bank, look at also Zenith Bank chart. That permit us that of the world of Transcorp. These are the charts we're going to look at. We know that Ether is still on the downtrend. That of NGS group is also looking down. But let's chart these 5 stocks to see what they are doing before our time is fast spent. Because I know that while it's going to take a little extra time today, our time is fast, but I need to look at this chart together with you people to see what is happening, and as part of us also learning how to look at the chart together. That's why I want to do it with you this hour, so that I want to see what you are learning here. Yes, you can see what GT code is doing. If you look at this stock, it has been trading below the T line for all this while. But right away now, when it broke out the day I said you should buy, when it was starting here, I make, for those that are in the master class and not those that are what I said about when it was here, accumulated here till I then it will break out. When the breakout, it maintained an uptrend. This morning, I said there's a little gap between what it closed yesterday and today. Looking at this chart, I mean this stock is heading until this stock get to this level. What is this level? This level is around what? Around 20 naira. This level that already here. There's another top, double top here and here. And as we speak now, a breakout of this top will also tell you that it's continuing. And as we speak now, it's still trading above for almost 15 days moving average. No, let me cut 20 days moving average. Sorry for your time. Let's quickly cut the 20 days moving average to see what the stock is doing at that particular time. If it's above 29, no, don't forget that all these moving average, there are some that every investors are looking at to see what is going to happen at that particular time. Let's call the moving average here. Let me put simple moving average, 20 days moving average. This is 9 days. Let me change it to 20 days moving average. 20 days moving average. I want to make a point here where there, what is there. So it come up. I need to bring that so that it guide us to see what is happening in GT code now at this point, where are we thinking of taking profit? Those that have entered at 16 naira, critical at 17 naira, where will you be taking profit? I want to tell you where the stock is now, so that you can take advantage of that. See, you can see that the stock are broken out the 20 days moving average, at this point. Yeah, it tested that 20 days average from as a resistance for the stock yesterday, but it has broken out this morning. That means this stock after broken 20 days is getting at 50 days moving average. Anything at 50 days moving average, I will tell you that will also be a good time for you, so that whether it will be a resistance for the stock or a breakout. And when it breaks out 20 days, 50 days moving average, you know what average that average means for traders that are investor. That is that once it kind of, I mean, it's the time for this that give investor confidence to jump back to the market on this stock. But this stock have suffered losses all this while, to remain below the T line, remain below 20 days moving average. But now it's coming out to break out that same moving average, so that the stock is what on a fire now. But as you can also look down, look at what your momentum. Right? The momentum is very, very important. This momentum is very strong now. You can see what is happening after weak momentum at this point, weak, but before rebounded, you can see the strong momentum already on the stock. And if you look at your money flow, your money flow is already approaching 50. I told that once it gets to 50 at this level, once it breaks out this level, it's also there at front itself entering the stock. Speak now is doing 41, 42. Good for GT code. That means those that are taking advantage, and I believe those that need to advise. And that's why I say you as a trader, once you up your game, I think that you see, even when others are shaking, it will help you to take decisions to stay in that position. Yes, on a daily chart, you can see that it's looking very good. Let's look at on a 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart, you can see trading far above T line, above 20 days moving average, good. But also you can see that what the chart telling us on momentum is still very strong at this point. Money flow is already in almost 80, 82, 85 on a daily chart, on a 1 hour chart. Good one. Let's look at your cap now. For our time in fast spend, let's look at your cap. We can continue tomorrow. United Capital at this point, you can see that's why we need to understand our market. You can see this stock and remain above the T line from here to this level. Even when it pull back here, for those that don't understand the market, will be panicking out because they saw a weak or slow momentum later. But if you look at from your T line, will tell you. I thought you had to use your T line. T line is still remain above the T line from this point all this way to here. You can see where it is at this point. Above the 20 days moving average, which is the down one here. The T line is one that is closer here. You can see that where it's going. For me, this is how to trade in any market. That's why we're seeing a kind of put down the money flow, and this is a 1 hour chart. Let's look at what a day chart for lookup so that you get to see it and see where the stock is now at this moment. Far from what above the T line, above 20 days moving average and T line. I can see strong momentum. Look at money flow reading around 70. This is good for lookup. For those that understand how to trade, you can see when you see that the index, the price action is far from T line, it gives you an indicator that it will likely pull back. You can see also when it came down here, said that yes, you must work with your T line. I always have taught you that is how to use it to work to profit in any market condition, either on a multiple time frame, short, long, and on T line will give you real information that will guide you. Okay, because of our time, I'm going to take access as last because we have entered. So let me look at what is happening in access. First call so that we call it a day from now. So our time. I know others have already planned that this class for 30 minutes, but now we have extended it. But just because the market is looking somehow, so I don't want you to panic out. The market is very, very sweet at this moment so that you understand to play it now. You can see that access bank of speak now is above the 20 days moving average and trading above T line. For me, is a good sign. That's why I brought these two lines. This was 20 days moving average. This one is what is the T line. You can see that momentum also is very, very strong in what in stock. These are the things you should understand how to use the momentum and how to use to buy, and also what decision you should take when you are trading in any market. These are the things also. Don't forget that I combine what buy price, time analysis, and what and momentum. If you're able to combine this trading, price structure, time and what and momentum, I will tell you, you will always be ahead of the market most times. Not that nobody have 100% control of the market, but once you can combine this analysis very well with other time factors you are looking at, I'm telling you, you stay ahead of the market. Yes, I'll say thank you for your time today, and I appreciate you all. Like I encourage you, go to the YouTube, new videos that even another one I've entered this morning. Subscribe so that anytime we post our video, will be updated and get what the market is saying, what the direction is saying. I just mentioned about the the inflation figure. I'll tell you that every investor, stockbroking firms, all the players in the market, they are all analyzing this outcome of this data. How are we going, in the next in the next FPC? Where are we going for the next the quarter, the month we are now? And this is the last quarter of the year. What are we expecting to go? Don't forget the last quarter of the year, high demand is going to play what on inflation and other stuff. This is time for you to take what investment because every investment is against what the future. I say thank you and enjoy the rest of your trading day. See you tomorrow, hopefully by God's grace, at this hour again. We'll start by 12 as usual. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.